Hey guys, I am here in Garden City, Georgia. There's a Love's here, and tomorrow I'm going to be picking up an oversized load. It'll be my first time. It's actually legal dimensions, but weighs 57,000 pounds. So the weather's beautiful here today, so I'm taking advantage of it, you know, for February. And I don't know, I did a little bit of wheel polishing yesterday. You know, I'm not the best wheel polisher, and did some of the toolboxes. But yeah, anyway, I'm hanging out here doing a reset. But the truck next to me over there, the orange one, that's my dad, and he's picking up pretty much the same thing I am. His is lighter than mine, but it's over dimensional by I think only about 6 inches or maybe 18 inches, something like that. But yeah, so I was already sleeping. I got here last night about 7:30. He got here about 8:30 this morning. So I was asleep when he got here, and he went to bed. So in a little bit we're gonna get up. But on the back of the trailer here, so this trailer is actually new to him. This is his first lowboy, so it's got some equipment stored in it, some binders and everything that he's not familiar with. So we're gonna obviously take everything apart, and just like I've done with mine, take it all apart, make sure everything's lubed up good. The trailer could use a little bit of paint, but other than that, it's yeah, pretty decent trailer. I don't know what year it is. I know it's got a brand new pony motor on it. It's a Renegade. But yeah, by the way, he does have a headache rack that he hasn't put on yet. And for those of you that were worried about me not having a headache rack, I actually just bought one. I pick it up next week. It's used, very nice, 3 doors, got lights on it and stuff, pretty cool. I'm going to do some paint work to it because it's an aluminum, yeah, it's an aluminum headache rack, but it's got 3 stainless steel doors on it. And I don't want to have to polish a whole headache rack, and I just can't have it not polished. I'm actually going to paint it to match the truck, except for the stainless doors. Put new lights on. Actually, I got these watermelon lights on the back of my cab here, and the guy who made these for me does the stainless steel work. He's making me a couple more, making me some more of them, because the headache rack has 8 of them. I take these off because these are still good, and he's actually making me just blank pieces that I could put on there to fill in the hole. So then the headache rack will go on. Yeah, so looking pretty forward to that. My dad just didn't get his put back on yet. He was doing dry van work for a little bit until he got this trailer. But on the back of his trailer here, he stopped at Mighty the other day. I've said before I don't have tarps, and I need tarps, and this load tomorrow is gonna get tarped. So he stopped at Mighty the other day in Aurora, Ohio, and he got himself a set. He needed a set, and then he got my new set. They're parachute tarps, and here in a little bit we're gonna open these up and check them out, and get them rolled up. You know, they're all bagged and stuff, and get them all rolled up basically the right way, you know, that way we're all set for tomorrow. And I know what some of you say about tarping, but I don't know, I've never done it. It's just another adventure. We'll see overall, you know, how I like it. Nobody seems to like it, but we'll see. I do know that I've missed out on some pretty good loads because I didn't have tarps. Yeah, we'll go from there. But later on, I'll yeah, when my dad gets up and we start getting equipment out and stuff, I'll you know, we'll go through that tomorrow. I'll see if I can get a video of it loading. It's actually going to be craned on. I believe it's 24, 27 feet long, not too much. It's 102 inches wide, which is the exact width of the trailer, and weighs 57,000 pounds. I already got my permits, which was actually pretty fun. You know, I had to get all set up with the permit company, and you know, I had to have all kinds of measurements. Like, I knew it was a 10-foot spread here, but I had to measure from the center of the front hub on the trailer to the center of the rear of the tractor, and then the distance between, you know, my tandems on the truck, and then from the front axle. You know, it's just a whole bunch of different information that they need. and go through routing and everything, and yeah, it's fun. Like I say, this is the goal, is to you know, do oversize and over dimensional, and you know, something a little bit more specialized than what I'm used to doing. So but yeah, I'll get things together here and yeah, do some more video. Tell you what, I don't know if I'm miscounting here or what, but I don't seem to have enough. These bags this comes in seems to look pretty cool, so I'm gonna see if I can't save the bags for other stuff. I don't know what I'd have use for them, but tell you what, I kind of wish I had a step deck. It's like, to do this, his trailer's too low. I got to bend over to do it. Mine's too high. I wonder if that guy next to me would mind if I used his step deck. I don't even know if he's here. I don't want to do anything like that. I'm going to unwind this here. I told you my dad's sleeping up there, and he probably feels me doing this, but it's okay. It's time for him to get up. And if not, he's got 3 dogs in that truck that I'm sure feel me doing this. I wouldn't doubt if he's up pretty soon. All right, guys, well, Dad's up now. He's going through some of our oversized stuff here, but we're gonna get down in this box here and see what's in here. Woo. Chains and binders. Guess we'll get to lubing some stuff up here. Got a lot done. Dad's got his tarps. I got tarps up there on the front of the trailer. He's talking to the boss. He's talking to our buddy Mark. Mark owns his truck, but not the trailer. He leases the trailer. What's funny is I own my truck and Mark owns my trailer. I leased the trailer from him. So yeah, we did a lot of work today. We went through all of Dad's stuff. You saw me line it up, and I lubricated all the binders. I got out all the chains, know exactly what's in there. It's got more than enough. And I had to check, because despite what my buddy Brett said, I need oversize signs in the state of Georgia. I don't in Tennessee or Kentucky, because I'm within dimensions, but I will need them in Georgia, which is where I'm picking this up. So I have one, and I'm at the Love's here. I know I can go in there. They got some. I'm gonna grab another one, and we're gonna hang out and relax tonight. We've got to load early tomorrow morning. We both have crane appointments, and yeah, we'll go from there. Hopefully I can get some good footage. You know, it's a port, it's government. I don't think anybody will care. I think I'll just hide the camera somewhere and, you know, catch what's going on. Should be pretty cool. I don't even know what the load is. It has a description. It said machinery, but you can't put machinery on the permit. So I needed a very descript what it was, and it's like something connecting rod for something. I don't know. I heard it's going to be a big box. That's basically what I heard. But I got my tarps. I know some people don't like the tarp. I'm probably not going to like it, but I don't want to hold myself back from being able to do things. So anyway, we'll see you tomorrow, see what I can get. Well guys, things went south real fast. You know, this load I was so excited about, getting all prepared for, it didn't work out. I'll tell you details here, but yes, it involved a small truck fire on my truck, some broken parts, and now we're trying to recover my load. I know I had said before that I was going to try to get video of them loading it. When I pulled into Savannah Port, it said they had signs right there, no video recording equipment. I probably could have gotten away with it, nobody would have noticed, except, you know, I'm new to this. It was my first oversized load with Landstar. Not only that, it was also the first time that I used my brand new TWIC card to get into a port. So the last thing I wanted to do was videotape in there and end up on, you know, some terrorist watch list or something. And really, loading wasn't all that exciting. I mean, they used a big crane to put it on. They basically took it off of one trailer, held it up in the air. I backed under. They had a couple guys lined it up and set it down. As far as what it is, I don't even know. They call it a connecting rod. It's part of, I think there's 7 trucks total taking us in there, so it's part of that. You know, my dad took another piece that looked like mine but was a little bit wider, and unfortunately, after I broke down, he rescued me and then went 2 hours away and he broke down. So yeah, between us, we pretty much bought a Peterbilt driveline this week. Yeah, anyway, I'll get into it. All right guys, let's talk about the load first. So here it is. It actually doesn't look big. I don't even know what it is. Like I said, I told you about the connecting rod. I don't know what that means. It's actually going to a company that does foundry work. They cast actually big truck parts. Yeah, heavy duty truck parts. But here's what it looks like. I actually used 2 tarps on there, so there's a third one. I actually got 3-piece tarps, and this has, they're 3-piece lumber tarps, which, you know, that means it has the flap over the end. On the back is the one end of the lumber tarp that has a flap. Up here, this is actually the center piece that was just square. Yeah, so it was my first time. Don't critique me too bad. So you can see underneath here, I'm going to turn this a little, well, no, let me see if I can push this down. Anyway, it actually had hooks on it. So I was able to run the first set of hooks front, the other one's down here, and then same thing over there, chains over there, and did the exact same thing on the back. What that left me with was 25,600 pounds of securement on 54,000 pounds. Not enough. So, by the way, for those of you that don't know, you have to have at least 50% of the weight covered for securement. So you see down here the gray, these are actually bases for this. It's what it sits on. I'm pretty sure they're going to come off later, but it is attached to that, and they have grooves, so you can actually see a chain up here. I put a chain up there pulling front. There's another set of them on the back. I put the chain on pulling back, and they were straight across. So these were down. It means I only get half of the 6,400. Like I said, that took me to 25,600. These ones are actually straight across, and that gives me full 6,400 on it. I think in the end I was 60 or 37,000 in securement. I'm good. There's some other weird, I had it tarped differently, and then, you know, some pieces fell out and were flapping, so, you know, once that all happens, you're just flapping in the wind. This load actually is not over dimensional. It looks like it is, but it's not. I have the oversized load signs on because in Georgia you have to, if it's a permit load, and it's permitted because it's overweight. It weighs 88,000 pounds and some change, the whole thing, the whole unit. And so I still put the red flags on. You can actually see here, it looks like it's over dimensional, but it's not. This piece is actually wrapped in, so that's the tarp, plus it's actually wrapped in like a, let me see if I can get a view of it. Sorry for the angle, I'll have to angle it, but you can probably see it almost looks like tin foil, and that has padding under it. This is actually a lot of padding, so it's actually not over dimensional. It's actually exactly 102 inches wide. So let's get to what went wrong. Going down the road, I'm in Macon, Georgia, just outside of Macon. I was at mile marker 6 on 16, which, as you know, ends at Macon, well, starts at Macon, I guess. But I'm heading west, and all of a sudden the truck starts vibrating horribly. So I get off real quick. I'm actually on an on-ramp, not an off-ramp. I actually like crossed over, on-ramp, stopped real quick, had my headset on. I actually called my dad real quick because he's only about a mile in front of me. And I come back here, and actually I'm not going to get under there because I'm newly clean. And where you see where the drive shaft is missing, I took that off, we'll get to that later. It was actually on fire in there. Yeah, it was on fire. So I'm talking to my dad, telling him to come back, and he did. He got off the exit and came back. I ran to the other side, got my fire extinguisher. Like I said, it was burning inside the pumpkin, but still, you know, you don't take any chances. I shot everything I could there, and then I went to unhooking the trailer. You can see my fire extinguisher here. Don't mind the Talon stuff in there, but you can see it's pretty well empty. I'm going to need to have it refilled or just buy a new fire extinguisher, but it did its job. You can see it's been windy around here. You can't see it now. It did have like a dust all over everything from where I did that. But anyway, once I felt like, you know, things weren't going to burn up, I still wanted to get it out from under the trailer. You know, anytime you can, if you're ever in a bad situation like that, just remember, try to get them disconnected. So I did. I dropped the trailer quick, pulled far front, you know, to make sure that if it did flare up or something caught fire, it wasn't going to burn the trailer and, you know, just as importantly, the piece of equipment on it. Anyway, so Dad turns around and comes back. He drops his trailer actually in this truck stop, which is at exit 6, but I'm on the wrong side of exit 6. And then he comes down so he can get my trailer, and goes down, turns around, brings it back here. So then I got the bobtail sitting alongside the road, and I can move it very slowly. If I go too fast, it'll start smoking because of the, I guess it's because of the yoke seal. I don't know, seals in there or burning, it would get burning. I could actually go about 5 miles an hour safely. The next exit was 6 miles down, or 5 miles down the road, I think. So I went down the road on the shoulder on 5 miles an hour. Luckily there was construction down there and there was a crossover. I didn't have to go too far. Construction down there, crossover, turned around and came back up. There's a bobtailed in here. In the meantime, Dad came in here, dropped this trailer and took his trailer. He had to go. What makes matters worse is my dad went about 2 hours down the road. I'm in Macon. He went up around Atlanta, got to Adairsville, Georgia, and blew a transmission apart. Yeah, what a mess. So his truck got towed in actually this morning. Mark, our friend Mark that I mentioned a lot, he came down and rescued Dad's trailer. He was actually going to come down and rescue my trailer. Now he had to rescue two, and Dad was closer. He could actually make that appointment on time. So he came down and rescued Dad's trailer. Got Dad right into the shop. Mark owns my dad's trailer. Got Mark right into the shop, or got my dad right into the shop, and they're working on it now. We'll see what's going to happen. Actually, you see this pile of oil there on the ground? That's actually oil from my rear. So when I was doing some work under there, I had the truck pulled forward because this is stone, you know, that's concrete. I had to lay under the truck. I wanted to make sure to be on stone or on concrete. Once we got all that done, I backed it up a bit because I was sticking out too far up here for that, and want to make it safe. But I'm gonna climb back in the truck here and I'll finish the story. So as I was saying, not only did you know, Mark went down and rescued my dad and got his load up there to Lexington in time. It's actually Georgetown, Kentucky. It's going to. He got that up there in time. He actually brought one of his drivers along too. He has a few trucks, a couple drivers. Brought one of his drivers along too, so that he had a team driver. So yeah, they got that done. Dad's truck is in the shop. They're fixing it now. It'll be done tomorrow. It's Wednesday. Mine won't be done till Friday. I already worked it out with a local shop. I did some studying last night, read some Google reviews, found a shop that I felt pretty confident in. Called him this morning, and after talking to the owner, felt even more confident. It's actually, well, I'll call him out now. He hasn't done the work yet, so hopefully he gets a good review on the next video. But it's Henry's Truck Repair in Macon. But I'll tell you what else I did. We had the idea to pull the drive shaft out. That's why the drive shaft is missing. I laid under there last night, pulled the drive shaft out, and then I pulled the axles out also. And we thought I could lock in my power divider and go down the road, which I should have been able to, but it seems that my power divider isn't in great shape. Yeah, I go down the road and it starts clunking and clunking. Now remember, it's you know, 88,000 pounds total on, you know, on this load. I got down the road a little bit, spun around, came right back in here. I don't use my power divider. Last time I used it, it was icy in our parking lot where I parked this. I was bobtailing, I slipped, locked in the power divider, and then backed up at 3 miles an hour. Where my shop is that I parked the truck in, there's a little bit of a lip getting in, and I need to use the power divider to get in, so I'll lock it in to get in. For those of you who don't know what a power divider is, it's basically locking in four-wheel drive. It's locking in all of your tires on the back. So yeah, the trick didn't work. It should have, but it didn't. Anyway, now I just actually paid Henry's for some parts. They're saying he's got everything ordered. I'm not willing to leave. He's going to tow me over. He said I could probably drive over, but when he gave me his tow price, which was super cheap, I said, no, I'm not driving. No way I'm driving. We'll just get him to tow it over. And but I'm not willing to leave the trailer here, you know, until somebody's hooked to it. I've heard that's a pretty expensive piece of equipment back there. So yeah, I'm not leaving it here. So somebody's going to come take it. And hopefully it's my dad, but we'll see. It might be somebody else in the end. But either way, yeah, so it's going to get towed to Henry's. He said he already ordered the parts. He said he can probably have it fixed Friday. And then we'll see where my trailer's at, or where I'm at. I might not even be here anymore. If my dad comes down and rescues this, I'll probably jump in his truck and we'll team drive it up there to make sure it gets delivered. And leave my truck down here, and I'll get down here some other way. Many ways to get around. Anyway, it's been rough, but that's trucking. And I'll tell you what, I'm sitting all alone down here in Macon, Georgia, and I've never felt so much love from people. You know, everybody reaching out. My dad wants to get his truck fixed so he can get down here. You know, our friend Mark was, I don't know, he had to be, you know, I know he was beat when he came down here and rescued my dad. He was actually going to come down here and get my load. Dad was closer and he took that load. But he's done so much to try to make all this happen. You know, other people, my friend Paul Turner, I mean, I've never even met the guy. I've only talked to him on the phone. He's a friend of a friend. We've talked. He's helped me out. There's flatbed stuff. He sent me a message yesterday. You know, things happen for a reason, and keep your head up, and, you know, trust in the Lord, things like that. And it's that meant a lot. It meant people were looking out for me. My friend Brett from he has a YouTube channel, Patriot Specialize in Heavy Haul. I've talked about him before, and we've become friends basically through YouTube. And you know, he wanted to come rescue me. He wanted to come down and give me his trailer and take my trailer up and deliver it, and then it's pretty close to his house. Just go home and then I'll bring his trailer up to him. And that means a lot. Unfortunately, he's in Michigan. There's no way to make that make sense in our heads. Yeah, he delivered in Michigan this morning. So but go over and check out his channel, Patriot Specialize in Heavy Haul. It's pretty cool. But you know, my wife last night, you know, you talk to your spouse, and that's when I was just ready, at wit's end. And you know, she straightened things out with me. She said, you know, here's what we're going to do. You know, get your head on straight. You know, stop overthinking things. We're going to do this, we're going to do this, we're going to do this. Basically laid out an itinerary in my head, and that set things straight. And you know, my in-laws, they helped me in ways that I don't really want to discuss here on the channel, but thank you for that. And yeah, but like I said, you know, I'm all alone down here, and I'd never felt so much love from the people around me, and I appreciate that. But we'll end that video here. I'm sorry it's been so long since I posted. Had some things going, but yeah, thanks everybody, and hey, I'll catch you on the next video.